Nigeria is no longer just a nation of villages and small towns. It is becoming a nation of cities, from ancient settlements that have grown into sprawling urban centers to industrial hubs transforming landscapes overnight. Across Nigeria, concrete, steel, glass, highways, factories, estates, and markets are reshaping how millions live, move, and work. But which states are truly the most built up? Which places have the densest infrastructure and the widest urban footprint? The most continuous human development, not just in theory, but on the ground. Tonight, we journey across Nigeria from the least built up on our list to the most built up of them all. This is not about beauty. It is not about wealth alone. It is about physical urban presence, the concentration of cities, roads, buildings, and industries, including human activity across space. This is the story of Nigeria's most built up states. Delta State does not have one megacity. It has many urban anchors: Warri, Asaba, Sapele, Ughelli, Ufurun. Each of these cities function as an industrial, administrative, commercial, and residential hub, connected by highways, pipelines, ports, and oil infrastructure. Warri remains one of Nigeria's most industrialized coastal cities, hosting refineries, petrochemical complexes, ports, and multinational energy facilities. Asaba, meanwhile, has transformed into one of Nigeria's fastest growing administrative capitals, with estates, flyovers, universities, commercial districts, and luxury developments reshaping its skyline. Across the state, oil infrastructure carves dense urban corridors through riverine and mainland zones, creating one of Nigeria's most spatially complex built-up environments. Delta's uniqueness lies in its polycentric urbanization, where development does not concentrate in one place, but emerges simultaneously across multiple cities. This distributed urban fabric pushes Delta firmly into Nigeria's top-tier built-up states. If Delta is polycentric, Rivers is nuclear. Everything radiates outward from Port Harcourt. Once a colonial port town, Port Harcourt has grown into one of Nigeria's most industrialized cities, a hub of oil and gas processing, shipping, construction, engineering services, real estate development, and corporate headquarters. The city's landscape is shaped by industrial estates, tank farms, shipping yards, bridges, flyovers, housing clusters, ports, highways, commercial districts, and dense informal settlements. Port Harcourt's urban sprawl now stretches into Obiakpo, Eleme, Oyibo, and beyond, forming a vast metropolitan region that functions almost continuously as a built-up space. Few Nigerian states have such entire industrial infrastructure density per square kilometer. Yet, combination of oil wealth, industrial demand, population growth, and port logistics has made Rivers one of Nigeria's most intensely urbanized territories. It is not just built up, it is saturated. Osun State does not scream skyscrapers. It does not announce itself with megacities or endless highways. Yet, beneath its calm surface lies one of Nigeria's most quietly urbanized landscapes. Centered around Osogbo, the state capital, Osun hosts a network of compact but well-built structured towns: Ilesha, Ile-Ife, Ede, Ikuru, each functioning as economic and cultural nodes within short distances of one another. Unlike sprawling megacities, Osun's urbanization is human-scaled. Low-rise residential clusters, dense markets, artisan workshops, schools, religious centers, and transport corridors linking towns into one continuous social fabric. Ile-Ife, one of Africa's most ancient cities, remains both spiritual capital and modern academic hub. Osogbo has grown into one civil service and cultural city, while Ilesha functions as a major commercial corridor linking Ondo and Ekiti to the rest of the southwest. Osun's built-up footprint is not vertical, it is horizontal, quiet, and deeply woven into everyday life. But in a country where urban dominance often means skyscraper and mega highways, Osun remains among the least physically built up on this list, though culturally, historically, and socially, it remains immeasurable. From the hills of southeastern Nigeria rises Enugu, a city born from coal, but transformed by governance, education, commerce, and migration. Enugu State's built-up environment is anchored around Enugu metropolis, which serves as one of the most planned urban centers in southeast Nigeria. Its wide roads, residential layout, institutional zones, government quarters, universities, hospitals, military installations, and industrial estates give Enugu a uniquely ordered urban character, one that contrasts sharply with the densely informality of many Nigerian cities. Beyond Enugu city, towns like Nsukka, Agbani, and Abiriba contribute additional urban clusters, but development remains largely concentrated around the capital. Enugu's built-up footprint is not defined by industrial chaos or megacity sprawl, but by structured urban planning, administrative infrastructure, and controlled growth. It is a state where urban life feels intentional, yet, compared to states where urbanization spills endlessly across entire landscapes, Enugu remains relatively contained, placing it among the lower tier on this ranking. To understand Ogun State's urban explosion, one must first understand Lagos. As Nigeria's megacity expanded beyond its borders, Ogun became its industrial shadow, absorbing factories, warehouses, estates, and millions of commuters pushed outward by congestion, land prices, and population pressure. Today, Ogun hosts some of Nigeria's largest industrial corridors: Ota, Agbara, Ifo, Shagamu, Abeokuta, Mowe, and Ibafo, forming near continuous urban corridors linking Lagos to the deeper southwest. Manufacturing plants, logistic hubs, industrial estates, commercial districts, expressway, power stations, cement factories, breweries, food processing plants, and warehouses stretch across the state. Ogun is not merely urbanizing, it is metropolizing. What makes Ogun unique is that it does not rely on a single dominant city. Instead, its urban footprint is distributed across dozens of towns and industrial zones, blending into a vast Lagos-Ogun mega-region. In many ways, Ogun has become Nigeria's largest physical industrial platform, not by vertical skyline, but by horizontal infrastructure saturation. Aba's urban story is powered by one word: Aba. If Nigerian cities had factories for hats, Aba would beat the loudest. Aba is not just a city, it is an industrial organism. Streets hum with manufacturing, markets stretch endlessly, workshops cluster by trade, entire neighborhoods function as production zones for footwear, garments, plastics, machinery, and household goods that reach markets across West and Central Africa. This intensity of economic activity has created one of Nigeria's most physically dense urban environments. Residential estates, markets, factories, transport hubs, storage yards, power corridors, all compressed into a tightly built industrial corridor. Beyond Aba, Umuahia adds academic and administrative structure, while smaller towns extend to built-up network outward. Abia may not have skyscrapers, but it possesses something equally powerful: urban density driven by productivity. Every square kilometer is walked. Still, Abia's urban footprint is highly concentrated in a few zones rather than statewide, keeping it below states with broader metropolitan coverage. Akwa Ibom represents one of Nigeria's most deliberate urban transformations. At its heart stands Uyo, a city that in just a few decades has grown from a provincial town into one of Nigeria's most orderly and modern urban environments. Wide boulevards, flyovers, government districts, airports, conference centers, industrial layout, and residential estates. Uyo is not crowded, it is composed. Unlike organically grown cities that evolve without planning, Akwa Ibom's urban footprint reflects intentional state-driven development. Beyond Uyo, cities like Eket, Ikotepmene, and Oron add commercial and coastal infrastructure, while oil installations stretch across the state's riverine corridors. Akwa Ibom's strength lies not in chaotic density, but in modern spatial design, where roads arrive before building and layout exists before estates rise. Yet, compared to states whose landscapes are almost continuously urbanized, Akwa Ibom remains more spaced out, placing it in the middle tier of Nigeria's built-up hierarchy. Anambra is not one city. It is a system of cities. Onitsha, Nnewi, Awka, Ekulobia, Ogidi, Mpo, Obosi, Ozubulu. Each is an economic engine, and together they form one of Africa's most continuous commercial urban corridors. Onitsha hosts West Africa's largest market, some of the busiest trade zones on the continent. Nnewi is Nigeria's automotive and industrial capital, home to indigenous manufacturing giants, auto assembly plants, pharmaceuticals, plastics, machinery production, and heavy engineering. Awka functions as the administrative and academic hub, while Ekulobia anchors interior commerce. What makes Anambra extraordinary is not skyline height, but urban continuity. Here, towns melt into one another. Markets sit beside factories, factories beside estates, estates beside highways, highways beside ports and river terminals. In some corridors, it becomes nearly impossible to tell where one city ends and another begins. This spatial saturation, this near megacity effect, places Anambra among Nigeria's most built-up states, rivaled only by one. Imo State may be small in landmass, but in urban density, it punches far above its weight. Anchored by Owerri, one of Nigeria's fastest growing cities, Imo features one of the most continuous urban fabrics in the country. Owerri blends into Olu, Olu blends into Okigwe, towns blow into suburbs, suburbs blow into villages. Residential estates, commercial centers, schools, hotels, religious complexes, transport terminals, markets, filling stations, road networks, and hospitality districts dominate state's landscape. Unlike industrial-heavy states, Imo's urbanization is driven primarily by real estate development, migration, education, hospitality, tourism, commerce, and diaspora investment. Few Nigerian states have such high concentration of housing units per square kilometers or such intense land conversion from farmlands to built-up residential zones. Imo is not defined by mega factories or ports. It is defined by continuous habitation, and that makes it one of Nigeria's most physically urbanized states, not in scale, but in density. Lagos is not a city. It is a phenomenon. From satellite towns to skyscraper districts, from ports to industrial estates, from expressways to rail corridors, from markets to mega malls, Lagos represents Nigeria's most extreme expression of urbanization. It is the most populated metropolitan region in Africa. But more importantly, it is the most fiscally built up. Here, land is scarce, density is relentless, infrastructure never rests. The skyline of Victoria Island and Ikoyi rises in glass and steel. Apapa and Tinkan Island ports pulse with global trade. Ikeja hosts industrial estates and aviation corridors. Surulere and Yaba balls with culture, education and technology. Lekki stretches endlessly into new cities carved from wetlands and ocean fronts. Residential estates blanket vast zones. Market sprawls across districts. Highways interlaced with flyovers. Rail lines cut through suburbs. Power stations hum. Telecom tower rises. Bridges span lagoons. Lagos is not simply built up, it is built out. It is Nigeria's only true megacity and one of the most urbanized territories on earth. Nothing else compares to Lagos. These states tell a story, not of wealth alone, not of politics, but of movement, of people leaving farms for factories, villages for cities, silence for street lights. Urbanization is no longer coming to Nigeria, it is already here. From Osun's quiet town to Enugu's structured capital, from Abbas factories to Uyo's modern layout, from Ogun's industrial corridors to Delta's oil cities, from Rivers Port metropolis to Imo's residential saturation, from Anambra's commercial mega region to Lagos, Africa's urban titan. These are Nigeria's most built-up states, not by opinion, but by fiscal transformation. And the next question is not where the cities will grow, but how will they grow? Because the future of Nigeria will not be decided in rural fields. It will be decided in cities. If you enjoyed this documentary, hit the like button, subscribe to 1010 Media, and tell us in the comments which state surprised you the most and why. Because Africa's next mega cities are already being built.